Oh my goodness, guys, just look at the huge box of acrylic ink by Schmincke. It's their Aero Colour Professional range. And I'm so excited to get into it. Let's go. So this is their entire range. I have had this box in my collection for, I'm going to say, over 5 years. They kindly sent this to me when I was doing reviews for ease of use for disability. And this is the case that it comes in. And it retails at over €300. It is terribly expensive. However, the ink lasts. I haven't touched this box in, within that time, I'm going to say 4 or 5 years. I did a quick review and tested on, swatched them. And then that was like it. I've not touched them because it's such a big box for me and it's so difficult to store it that it's stored out of reach and then you forget about stuff. So I'm looking to see if I can actually put this or the bottles in a place that I can actually access them and then use them more often. I've turned the box around. It is, you can see it's like a suitcase. You have these clips and the handle to open the lid. We'll open it like so. And just pull it so it doesn't collapse on us. And there's this, it is for airbrushing, recommended, or calligraphy, or whatever you want really. But because it is originally when it came out for airbrush, there's this airbrush cleaner that comes with it. You have about 2 or 4 different wipes, I think. There's a transparent white, opaque white, and then let me see what this is. They need shaking up. Oh no, it's blue. Can you see now? That's separated. They all need shaking up. But basically, they're all still liquidy. Did you see it was white? And after shaking it, it's gone blue. So I'm going to have to do that with quite a few of them. Well, all of them. So I'll be back in a minute. Quite exhausted. This one has a ball bearing in it. Because obviously there's white and it's opaque. So shaking it, you'll hear a silver ball. And it might take a little bit longer. But so far, I've done like about 6 bottles. And they're all liquidy. They have not dried out. I mean, that's pretty awesome. So you can see, these are the old swatch charts that were I did at the time when they came. So it's pointless me doing them again. And this was obviously some of the artwork that I created using them at the time. My boat scenes and everything, and the beach huts. The green here, where is it? This one reminds me of chartreuse, so I love that kind of colour. So basically, maybe I hope to include in this video some creation with them. We'll have to see. It's going to take me a while to figure out where I'm going to store them. Okay guys, hi. Welcome to the video. We are going to be having a look at this pad, which I found down the back of the box that I was tidying out, along with the inks. It's the Strathmore Mixed Media Heavyweight Premium Series. Already been using it. It feels like a board, each page. So I've chosen my colours. I've got 5. And it was, of course, my chartreuse colour, but they don't call it chartreuse, they call it titanium yellow-green shade, but it's definitely a chartreuse colour. Then I chose Flesh Tint. That's the one with the ball bearing in it. Then this is the Cobalt Blue, and it says Shake and Spray on all the bottles, because it is just you shake them up and put your spray gun on and it does it. This is primary yellow. And this is gold ochre. I love that you can leave them for years and they still work. Well, I mean, I don't know if they work, but they're still liquid and they look good colours. So I've got a basic paintbrush around number 12, because I prefer number 12s. Got a jar of water, and we're just going to experiment because I really want to use them in this Royal Talon sketchbook, because this is my sketchbook I'm trying to keep just for the relaxation videos that I'm doing on YouTube. The de-stress art. The art I create when I feel stressed, basically. So, testing first on Strathmore. We'll have a look at this green. We just have to do it. We have to also see if they undo. Oh, this one is undoing okay. Brilliant. Look at that. Just do one dot. Oh, okay. So on this paper, it just seeped in. Can you see that? That dot. So perhaps this paper's like no good. So I can imagine that this Royal Talons isn't going to be much good either for the acrylic. Could just be that colour. Might need to do more shaking. So we'll shake up the skin tone a little more. I love drawing with them, because really, oh yeah, that's better. Really, so the Strathmore was like rubbish. Sorry, Strathmore. It could be, it's so old, I hear sizing goes, the surface of the paper. So that's probably what's happened with that. Whereas this is a brand new Royal Talon sketchbook, which I didn't expect would be as good. So we're going to do the primary yellow. I love drawing with the pipettes like that. That's such fun. Look at that yellow. My goodness. And isn't that cool? But because it's transparent, it's going, you can see through the pink, which is not transparent. It's kind of opaque. We might build up the colours, obviously, in a minute. And the cobalt blue. I'm so pleased I decided they were calling to me. And I thought, yes, it's time to use them. Because when they're out of my way, like with anything, you're not going to use them. Because it's a drag. I've now found a new place just down the side on my side table in their suitcase. So I can drag them out. But I have to say, it's difficult. You need to be Mighty Mouse. Because they're so heavy. But with help, I can get them in and out. I think these would make good, you know, like when you tone your page in your sketchbook. And this is kind of cool, but it's a, you've got a bit of green there. The nice different greens that we can get with that. It's fun. This is my relaxation sketchbook because it's a lot of, we're playing, aren't we? So that's good. I chose the right sketchbook. I happen to have it laying in readiness. So now I think what we'll have a go at doing, I think we need to experiment with a bit more blue on this yellow. I'm just going to shake it up a little more. So I had to work quickly there. You could see I was grabbing the colours and dropping them into each other. I'm going to get a damp brush, and we're now going, can you see there? Oh, look, we don't even have to do it. It's doing it itself. I didn't do anything like that. And you saw, is this going to go into that on its own without me doing it? Oh, I love that when art does that itself. It's like creating itself. It's alive. I love that. What's it going to do? Almost touching. I'm highly tempted to just give it a quick nudge. Ah, there we go. It'll be fun when it's dry, because we'll see all of the different tones. Yeah, that looks fun. I'm going to leave it to dry and see what happens with that. That's a fun shape. So while that is, you know, doing its thing, let's see if we can do something up here. It's kind of abstracty at the minute, isn't it? So I just wonder, because I have to say I like this flesh tone. That's a really nice one. Out of all of these colours, I would say the flesh tone is probably the easiest one to deal with, because it's opaque, but it dries really pale. I would say that's a universal. You know, I noticed Katie Moody uses like that kind of colour a lot, and beige, for doing the houses in her sketchbooks. But also this cobalt blue is pale. It's nice. This primary yellow, it like shouts and screams at you. It's like, you know. And the green, I mean, I have to say, I love this green. It's like my favourite. And I do like the yellow. It's one of my favourite colours, the yellow. But I think if you're trying to use it to tone a page and you're going to be doing artwork over the top, then the skin tone is more friendlier as a background colour. But then if you're doing a sunset, I could get away with, well, not with that, but I could get away with now adding a sunset to all of that background, and I could probably add in the ocean because of this blue. A few mountains maybe. That green thing, I'm not sure what I could incorporate into that. Could be a sea monster. Could be. Because like how I'm seeing it now is there's like tentacles and a face pointing this way with the arms here. Some antenna thing coming out the head. And she's walking in this direction. So yeah, she's coming out the water. The more I talk about it, I think we need to do that. I think we need to go with that. I might have to get another colour. Some pink for the sky. But I think we've got to go with this. Try and do some ocean. I want to work quite quick, so I might not talk, because I'm not sure how quick these acrylic inks dry. I also don't want to, probably should have done this when she's dry. But if I just put this in as an example, it will remind me what I'm trying to go for. Okay. It'll also show me how quick they dry. Because they do feel, I must say, and some of them, I don't know if it's because they're old or because they're airbrush, but they feel a little bit bit like it's gum arabic-y. Do you know what I mean? That kind of feeling. It won't be gum arabic because they're not watercolours, they're acrylic. But it's probably, there's more binder in them so that they can be used, you know, in a spray gun. Airbrushing. Couple of powdery bits there of the yellow. Right, just going to get the red. Okay, I got the pinky red. Give it a shake. So I thought red's a bit much. This is magenta, primary magenta. One of my favourite colours, along with the yellow. Wow, a bit much. So now we have to get the yellow. Okay, that's better. Let it do its thing. Give it a bit of a helping hand, just for here. Okay. Alrighty. Looking quite dramatic, isn't it? I can't believe the Royal Canon sketchbook's coping so well. Brilliant. So it loves acrylic, probably, and gouache, the sketchbooks, not so much for watercolour. But you can use watercolour, it's just they tend to dry a bit dull. But the acrylics are brilliant. Right, it's always drying. Might have to get a heat gun. Yeah, I think I will. Back in a minute. Okay, getting the heat gun. Excuse me for the noise. Wow. Well, that took a while. What I'm going to do is use a tissue to just soak up this extra, you know, puddle that is here. It's actually dripped down to my other pages, but I just think it's going to help just by soaking that up a minute. And then that's it. I will then just finish off the heat gun. Okay guys, so off camera, I was for a good solid 5 minutes using the heat gun and it's still not fully dry. So it obviously does take, because of the binder, it obviously, or because they're old, I don't know, but it does take a long time. Usually acrylic, anything acrylic, dries incredibly quick. Could be we've got a damp atmosphere as well. We do always have humidity here, but it is taking a while. Or I'm just super impatient. So it did drip while I was away as well. This red came across her. So I'm just going to be adding in blue again because we need the ocean to come back. And in here. And I can always add in extra bits on her afterwards, you know, to define her with maybe some pencil. which I might do off camera if this video gets too long, and show you the end results. But this is literally just to show you that even if you have old supplies, you can have a lot of fun. And also, you know, I am an advocate of you investing in art supplies. You know, I just recommend decent art supplies. I know I'll be slammed for saying that. I just find if you keep going for the real cheap things, you're going to get not such good results. And it will put you off. It put me off when I used to buy the absolute cheapest of products, gouache paint particularly, the kids stuff. When it dries, it cracks. And I had one that just fell off the paper because obviously the binder had not been done properly. And it's just not good. It puts you off. It's bored, you get bored doing that. And so if you can just get even one colour of something that is from a brand that's artist grade, you will get such better results. And you can build it up over time. If you buy one item a month or every 2 months, just to build up a decent collection. And you might not be an acrylic artist. You might be a watercolour artist. And you can get a tube of paint that is less than £6 in sterling, or less than €6. It's like €5 something for one tube, and it's like 5 mils, and a little goes a long way. And you can do monochromatic work. Practice doing that. In this relaxation art, I have, because I'm a professional artist, a lot of other supplies to experiment with. But I'm still using cheap sketchbook. And it's by Royal Talons, the art creation sketchbooks that you will have seen on other YouTube art channels. And the paperweight is 120 GSM. Now, usually I would advocate 160 GSM minimum for mixed media art. But this has not come through. It hasn't leaked. Very little, if that. I could still use the back page of this. It's 120 GSM. I have less problem with this than I do with watercolour. The watercolour will just sink straight through and you're left with a dullness, as I've said before. With this acrylic, it might take longer to dry, but you have got a vivid picture. So, that is the water there, and that is the sky. Now, what did I say I was going to do? Probably got to let this dry immensely, and to be honest with you, it's going to dry better without a heat gun, because remember, acrylic is plastic, a polymer, so the heat gun might actually not be that helpful. But what I do love that's happening in this sky, it's almost like a monster. Can you see an eye, and the snout and the nose, and like some claws coming out the sky? It's almost like it's after the sea creature, like a bit of a werewolf look. I don't even like Halloween. Nevertheless, that's what the ink has created itself. I love that. The ink is alive. Sometimes art really will create itself. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope that you found this interesting. Give me a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know that you enjoyed my content. And leave me a comment. Do you like using acrylic ink? And have you ever tried the Schmincke Aero colours, the airbrush acrylic inks? Let me know in the comments below. I'm going to catch you really soon. Stay to the end and I will share a picture of how this finally turned out. I'll be using probably some coloured pencils my, what do you call it? TWSBI, that's it. TWSBI Eco fountain pen has a broad nib, and that's got sepia ink, so I'll be doing some black outline, probably for the mountainy area, and maybe to outline the sea creature. And then I'll be going off with some pencils, and that will be it really. So, bye!